Welcome back to the CryptoWorld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now, both Bitcoin and Ethereum are moving closer towards a liquidation zone based on the liquidation heat map, as Bitcoin and Ethereum are still consolidating in the short term, which I'll talk about in just a moment, so definitely stick around. First of all, starting off on the weekly Bitcoin chart, and right now we are just hours away from another weekly candle close in the price of Bitcoin, which would simply further confirm this massive breakout to the upside. Because obviously, as I said over a week ago now on the channel, we saw an initial breakout here on the weekly time frame above this descending line of resistance, which was a massive 2-year line of resistance. And technically, that breakout has already been confirmed for around a week with last week's weekly candle close. But as always, the more confirmation, the better. So simply seeing this next weekly candle close above this previous line of resistance, once again, this is further confirming the massive breakout to the upside. And once again, as I said, since that initial breakout all the way back down here at around 27 to 28,000, of course, we still have this significant area of resistance on the weekly time frame, sitting in between around 36 to 38k approximately. But other than that, not much has really changed over the last one day. So checking out on the daily Bitcoin chart, and right now the RSI is obviously still very overbought. And so like I've been saying over the last few days or so, once again, this means it's very likely we're going to see some lower highs begin to form within the next few weeks in the daily Bitcoin RSI. But even in that case, of course, it is still possible the price could perhaps go a little bit higher, form a new higher high. Even if we form lower highs in the RSI, of course, that would just mean we would be forming a bearish divergence. And as for the daily Bitcoin MACD, as of right now, we're still looking more bullish than bearish. So in terms of the trend and momentum on the daily time frame, overall, we are more bullish than bearish. It's just in the short term, over the last few days in the MACD here, we have seen a slight loss in some bullish momentum, meaning basically in the short term, we are currently slowing down from all of this previous bullish price action. But obviously, we have not yet seen any bearish reversal signals as of right now, which is why I'm saying in terms of the trend and momentum, we are still looking more bullish than bearish. It's just we're losing some bullish momentum just in the imminent short term, as we've seen over the last few days. And speaking of the imminent short term, zooming into the 1 hour Bitcoin chart, and over the last few days, we have also seen a new bullish divergence pattern play out, as I mentioned in my last video here on the channel. And now, considering the fact that this bullish divergence is on the 1 hour Bitcoin chart, I would not necessarily expect this pattern to continue to play out much longer than it already has, because remember, on the smaller time frames here, like the 1 hour Bitcoin chart, we're only talking about small moves in the price of Bitcoin and small periods of time. And in fact, as you can see in the 1 hour Bitcoin RSI, this has recently moved closer towards overbought territories. It hasn't entered into overbought territories just yet, meaning we do have some room to the upside, technically speaking, but it has moved closer towards overbought territories, even with this slight bullish relief that we've seen over the last 2 days or so. And what's very interesting about the short term here is if you're taking a look at the liquidation heat map based on the Binance BTC to USDT perpetual futures contract, and these liquidations to the upside are sitting at around 34.6k approximately, or more specifically around 34,590, going up towards around 34,650 approximately. And so basically what this actually means is usually when we have an area of liquidations sitting here on the liquidations heat map, basically the price of Bitcoin tends to move towards those liquidations, towards that area of liquidity. Because as you can see, we saw exactly that happen back around the 28th of October. We had a zone of liquidations where the price of Bitcoin basically went straight down towards and then bounced not long after. And we saw something very similar within 1 day later. Obviously, we had a zone of liquidations back to the upside just in the short term where the price of Bitcoin spiked just above all of those liquidations, and then we pulled back ever so slightly in the short term. And so simply based on this liquidations heat map for the price of Bitcoin, it's likely that the price is going to continue up towards around 34.6k approximately. And then at that point, it's possible that area could act as a bit of short-term resistance where we could see some struggle for the price of Bitcoin, like what we saw just here with this wick to the upside that was just to enter liquidations. But if we end up seeing a further breakout to the upside above 34.6k, then in that case, looking at this level of resistance, we still have a lot of resistance resistance at around 34.8 to 34.9k based on these recent highs. And of course, if you're looking at this horizontal level of resistance and this horizontal level of support, which by the way, this support is sitting at around 33.6k. When you're looking at this support and this resistance, we can see a horizontal parallel channel in the price of Bitcoin, basically a sideways consolidation, which can be seen as a bullish flag pattern if we confirm a breakout above that resistance. And if we end up seeing a confirmed breakout above that resistance, so above around 34.9k, then in that case, looking at the technical price target for this bullish flag pattern, that would set up a technical price target at around 38.4k approximately. And so if you measure out that move in the price of Bitcoin, that is around a 10% move to the upside in the price of Bitcoin. But remember, we still have some major resistance in between around 36k to 38k here on the weekly time frame. So the price of Bitcoin could struggle around that price range. But anyway, now getting into the Ethereum part of this video, this is on the 3-day ETH to US dollar chart. And obviously this breakout to the upside for the bullish falling wedge pattern is still technically active, because as of right now, we have not yet confirmed any 3-day candle closes back below around 1.7k, which if that happened, that would invalidate the pattern and invalidate the price target and the breakout. But considering the fact that we're still seeing candle closes above this previous line of resistance, further confirming the breakout to the upside, once again, this technically means the pattern is active and the price target is active. And once again, the price target is sitting at around 2.1k. But of course, between now and that price target, there are obviously levels of resistance along the way. For example, looking at the daily ETH to US dollar chart, we can see this important area of resistance still sitting in between around 1850 to 1890, as I've been talking about for a while now on this channel, based on the volume profile indicator. But if we end up seeing a confirmed breakout back above around 1890, ideally back above 1.9k, then in that case, we also have some more resistance based on these previous highs, sitting at around $2,000 to 2030. And as for support, in case we see a further rejection from this area of resistance, then in that case, we also should find some support at these previous highs, which was previous resistance, sitting at around 1730 to 1750. And as for the daily Ethereum price oscillators, right now, the daily Ethereum RSI is still looking more bullish than bearish, trending to the upside, maintaining the higher low price structure, which means the bullish divergence is technically still active. And taking a look at the daily Ethereum MACD, once again, as of right now, this is still looking more bullish than bearish. So as for the trend and momentum on the daily time frame, we are still more bullish than bearish overall. But of course, just in the short term, over the last few days, as I have said, over the last few days, we have lost a bit of bullish momentum in the short term. Basically, the price has slowed down from all of this bullish price action. But with that being said, we have not yet seen any bearish reversal signals, which is why I'm saying overall, we are still more bullish than bearish. And just staying on the daily ETH to US dollar chart, of course, we still have this broadening wedge pattern, which is technically active because we have not yet seen a break below around 1730. And so considering the fact that the price is still holding above this previous breakout level, this previous resistance, that technically means the price target for this pattern is still active, sitting at around 1980. And if you're zooming into the shorter term, looking at the 2-hour ETH to US dollar chart, obviously right now, and as I've said over the last few days, the price of ETH is still in a sideways consolidation, in a sideways price range in between this support and this resistance. First of all, this line of support is still sitting at approximately 1760, and this line of resistance is still sitting at approximately 1850. And if you're taking a look at the liquidation heat map for the price of ETH, we can see a decent amount of liquidations very close to the current price, sitting at around 1810 approximately. And so basically this means the price of ETH could continue a little bit higher up towards around 1810. And so at that level, we could find some short-term resistance, but if the price confirms a breakout back above around 1810, then it's likely we will continue further to the upside in the high end of this sideways price range, back up towards around 1840 to 1850. But obviously, as of right now, we're basically in the lower half of this sideways price range, and we still need to confirm a breakout above 1850 in order to actually set up the price target for this potential bullish flag pattern. And what's interesting about that potential price target is, once again, if we first confirm a breakout, setting up the technical price target, that price target is sitting at around 2.1k, just like the price target for this falling wedge pattern here on the 3-day time frame. But believe it or not, you can still make a lot of money in crypto, no matter if the price is going to the upside, to the downside, or simply chopping around sideways sideways in the short term like right now. And if you want to know how to do that, then make sure to watch these videos popping up right here on your screen. The video in the top left shows you how to make money if the price is bullish or bearish using AI, and the video in the bottom left shows you how you can easily profit from choppy sideways price action like right now. But anyway, that's everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.